In the heart of the city, where the bustling streets and towering skyscrapers painted a facade of normalcy, lay a subway system that whispered and told mysteries. Rachel, a young woman with an adventurous spirit, found herself aboard the late-night metro, surrounded by the hum of the train and the distant echoes of unknown tunnels. The subway car rattled along the tracks, its rhythmic clatter echoing through the dimly lit compartments. Rachel gazed out of the window, watching the flickering lights of passing stations as the train dove into the depths of the underground. An uneasy feeling settled in the pit of her stomach. The subway car came to a sudden, jarring stop at a station that wasn't on any map she had ever seen. The flickering fluorescent lights overhead cast eerie shadows, and the air seemed to thicken with an unnatural stillness. Rachel hesitated, glancing around at the seemingly deserted platform. Ignoring an uneasy knot in her stomach, she stepped off the train onto the cold platform. The station was devoid of any signs or directions, and the only exit led to a narrow corridor that disappeared into darkness. The walls seemed to close in as she ventured further, her footsteps echoing ominously. After what felt like an eternity, Rachel emerged into an unexpected chamber. It was no ordinary metro station. It was a cavernous underground mausoleum. Tombstones, other than ancient, filled the cavern, each one bearing names and dates that hinted at a forgotten history. As Rachel navigated the maze of tombstones, she felt an unshakable sense of being watched. Shadows danced in the corners of her vision, and whispers of long-forgotten voices echoed through the chamber. The air turned icy, and the silence grew oppressive. A distant sound caught Rachel's attention, a haunting melody, played on a long-forgotten instrument. Mesmerized, she followed the music to a crypt where an old gramophone emitted its melancholic tune. As she approached, the music abruptly ceased, plunging the mausoleum into an unsettling silence. Suddenly, the tombstones around her began to shift. Ghostly apparitions materialized, their hollow eyes fixed on Rachel. Panic set in as the specters closed in, their ethereal forms reaching out towards her. Desperate, she retraced her steps through the labyrinth of graves, the apparitions pursuing relentlessly. With each passing moment, the mausoleum transformed, the once orderly tombstones now haphazardly arranged. Rachel felt an otherworldly force pulling her down, and she stumbled upon an open grave that seemed to lead to an abyss. Terrified, she fell into the darkness. When Rachel awoke, she found herself back on the subway platform as if nothing had happened. The train arrived, its doors opening to welcome her. Bewildered and shaken, she boarded, unsure if the macabre journey through the underground mausoleum had been a figment of her imagination. As the subway car sped away from the mysterious station, Rachel couldn't shake the feeling that the spirits of the forgotten were still lingering in the shadows, watching, waiting for another unsuspecting passenger to embark on a journey into the unknown. The subway car continued its journey through the labyrinthine tunnels, the rhythmic clatter of wheels on tracks filling the air. Rachel's heart pounded in her chest as she tried to make sense of the surreal experience she had just endured. The subway car pulled into familiar stations, and the once ominous atmosphere began to fade. As the train approached the surface, relief washed over Rachel. She stepped out into the bustling city, surrounded by the comforting sounds of urban life. The sunlight warmed her face, dispelling the lingering chill from the underground mausoleum. She convinced herself that it must have been a vivid dream, an illusion brought on by exhaustion or her overactive imagination. Days turned into weeks, and Rachel tried to resume her normal life, yet the memories of the ghostly apparitions and the haunting melodies lingered in the recesses of her mind. She found herself avoiding late-night subway rides, wary of the unknown mysteries that might lurk beneath the city. One evening, while walking past a cemetery, Rachel felt a sudden shiver down her spine. The memories of the underground mausoleum resurfaced, and she couldn't escape the feeling of being watched. As she quickened her pace, a distant, haunting melody reached her ears, a melody that mirrored the one from the ghostly gramophone. Rachel turned around, half expecting to see the spectral figures emerging from the shadows. Instead, she found herself alone, surrounded by silent tombstones. The melody faded away, leaving only the distant sounds of the city. Haunted by the unexplainable events, Rachel sought answers. She delved into local folklore and historical records, hoping to uncover the secrets hidden beneath the city. As she researched, she discovered tales of an ancient burial ground lost in time, a place where restless spirits roam, and a forgotten gramophone played mournful tunes. Determined to confront the mysteries that plagued her, Rachel returned to the subway station where her surreal journey had begun. The station, however, appeared ordinary, devoid of any signs of the mausoleum she had encountered. Doubt crept in, and she questioned her sanity. Just as she turned to leave, a distant echo reached her ears, an echo of the haunting melody that had played in the underground chamber. The subway car arrived, its doors opening with an eerie familiarity. Rachel hesitated, but ultimately stepped aboard, driven by an unexplainable force. As the subway car descended into the depths of the underground, Rachel felt a mixture of fear and determination. She was determined to unravel the mysteries that lurked beneath the city, even if it meant confronting the supernatural forces that awaited her. The subway journey continued, plunging Rachel into the unknown. The tunnel's darkness enveloped her, and the distant echoes of the haunting melody filled the air. Whether she was on a path to discovery or destined to become a part of the spectral tapestry beneath the city, only time would reveal. The subway car rumbled through the tunnels, carrying Rachel into the depths of an enigmatic and otherworldly realm, where the line between the living and the dead blurred into an unsettling symphony of the unknown.